Finished it. I think I'm going to need a bigger room. So I wanted to go through the bill because I wanted to thank a bunch of guys or call out some companies who helped me. But first, I wanted to talk about the company that didn't help me, and that's HobbyKing. If you remember, or if you saw the original video, what I had is a small problem with a tiny screw that that holds one of the wings on. It's just that the capacitive nut for it didn't have a thread in it. It seemed like a really easy replacement. It was a tiny piece of plywood with a nut in it. And I talked to HobbyKing, and HobbyKing said, send the entire plane back. This plane came in a box that was like this. Most couriers in the UK wouldn't even touch it because the dimensions of the box were wrong. It wasn't heavy, but the dimensions were such that there were 2 couriers that would take it. It was really expensive, and I really didn't want to send it back. So I was like, come on, this is ridiculous. This is a tiny part. Have you not got any spares? And they're like, no, there are no spare parts for this. And I even argued that under EU law, if you dispatch something to somebody and it's wrong, they should pay for the recipient to send it back if it has to be changed. But they weren't going to do it. So I had the option of like, well, I take them to court and it takes forever, or I just try and sort something else out. So meanwhile, they gave me $15 in credit. I just try to get this sorted. But I emailed Zeta Science because I said to them, I've just bought this plane from HobbyKing, one of your guys, or one of your planes, and it's just has this problem with this one nut. And they were really helpful. They said, oh, really sorry to hear that. Would you like us to send you a new one? And I said, yes, please. That would be amazing. And so they did. And they not only just sent it to me, they sent it DHL. So it turned up 2 days from China. And what they actually sent me was this, a bag full of the bits. So we not only got, they not only sent me 4 of the original bits that went wrong. This is the one I took out, which came out quite easy. This is the replacement. You can easily tell what sort of nut it is in there. Now they also sent me the bits for the opposite wing. Whoops. 4 of those, and all the screw hardware, which is really great service from them. Bearing in mind I didn't buy it directly from them, but they were really helpful. But again, it made me think, geez, HobbyKing, I'm just a guy that emailed them. I'm not the mighty HobbyKing. So it would have been so easy for them just to get some spare parts and save all that time. But instead they've just left me with a really bad feeling about HobbyKing, which I'm now passing on to everybody I can. And a good thing about Zeta Science. Of course, will it stop me using HobbyKing? No, they're cheap and they've got lots of stuff when it's in stock. But yeah, so that's fixed. So, boo HobbyKing, yay Zeta Science. Let's take the plane to a decent sized room and I'll just show you through stuff.
So here it is. This is my finished, just about ready to fly Zeta Science FX79. I just wanted to go through exactly how I built it and a couple of shouts to a few people and companies about how it was done. Also, just to show what it looks like, just in case the maiden goes horribly wrong and I crash it. So I haven't stuck the very last bits down because I just wanted to delve inside and show what I did. First thing is, the Mobius is going to be used as both flight cam and recording cam. What I've done here is I've built a little 3D printed section which just goes onto a 260-degree servo, and we've got these little nodules here so I can wrap a rubber band round. I made up my own USB connectors to try and keep this quite minimal. Had some funny issues from the guy that supplied them to me, where I ordered 10 and it was pretty cheap, and then I had 1 pin missing on each one, and so he sent me another load and they all had the same pin missing, which was weird. The other thing I've got here is the 600 milliwatt 5.8 immersion RC VTX. I did think I was being clever and had it mounted on a 3D printed box just here so I could easily whip it out, but after multiple people on forums telling me this looked rubbish. I quickly whipped that off and stuck it in the ring properly. So I've just got the heat sink uncovered so it can still cool. Over this side, we have a Bignose 13 dipole antenna. I asked Simon if he was making these, and he decided he could do for me. The bottom of it just there. And so yeah, I was really pleased about this because he cut me the length I wanted exactly, and obviously the right adapter. And he is doing dipoles now. So this is also a Bignose 13 antenna. So he's the guy to go to if you want either a dipole or a skew. He doesn't have a shop, but if you post in FPV Hub Forum in a topic that I'll include in the description, he can sort one out for you. So I'll just whip the top off now. We'll see what's inside. As I said, I've still got to stick this bit down, so for the moment I can also just take this off. Ditto with these sides, although they'll probably just be taped down. So I've got quite a lot of battery compartments here. This is the one that actually came with the plane, and this is way at the front, so I can balance out with one 5000 milliamp free cell. I've got this one here where I can put 2 in to give me 10,000, which should give max flight times, but this single should give easier launch, we hope. Over here, I have to give a big thanks to Richard. He decided he wanted me to have his DragLink version 1 receiver and transmitter as he went to Easy UHF. So I've got this in the side pod with the dipole just nicely channeled out, so that shouldn't cause any resistance. The other side is just wiring really that goes up to the VTX. I'm flying this, well, I haven't flown it yet, but I will be, with the MFD autopilot. Some issues in this, and I have to give another shout out here to Charles that runs MFD. I had a problem where I plugged it in for the first time and I had magic smoke. The power cable absolutely blew out. Of course, my instinct was to quickly unplug everything, so I couldn't tell if I'd done anything wrong. I don't think I had. But I exchanged a bunch of emails with him, and he was very quick to reply within a day. And it looks like I don't have any issues, apart from I had a ground pin that was not quite on the solder. Basically, there was a dry joint that had come away. I don't think it caused a problem, but we've managed to work around it. So this is set up, but it's going to need some tuning. This is the GPS for that. We've got the back down here, the current sensor just in there to obviously the parallel stuff. And over here we've got the airspeed sensor, and I've just done another little 3D print here to hold the pitot tube. And this is again another little 3D bit here to make the second battery tray. The only other thing I've made changes from the stock is with the prop. So this is now an APC 12x38, and I got rid of the provided prop adapter because that had some wobbles in it. So hopefully that should be a lot smoother. And yeah, we're ready to maiden. I'll stick this down, and once we get a clear day and I have some friends available for some moral and technical support, we'll give it a throw and see what happens.
One thing I've got to mention during all that was after I had the problem with the MFD and I had smoke, which is the scariest thing ever, thank God it seems to be working, is I made sure I mapped out absolutely knowing where everything would go. So I created a little spreadsheet, which is probably a reasonable idea if you're doing the MFD. The MFD has just 60 pins, of which you can plug anything into anything. I think it would be a nicer design if you could have things that only fitted into certain things. So you had a whole section for this is the video connection, this is the server connection. But it is what it is. So this is my spreadsheet, which I think's, well, it works for me. And if you're in a sort of a very compressed space, it's quite handy knowing where things are. And on the subject of MFD, I need to thank Coyote, again an FPV hub, for giving some extra info on MFD and how to set it up and how to get the bet connected and things, which is very useful. Pretty much everything I do I've learnt from the community on places like FPV Hub and other forums, so I'm always keen to say thanks guys, and you can share all the crashes with me as well when it doesn't work, and I can blame you. But see you for the maiden.